Hey, before the podcast gets started, make sure to go cop some t-shirts. I'm gonna take you out to the website. YouTube demonetized me, so your boy broke as fuck. So if you want to help support me, hold on, let me pull this up. Oh, this is Stu's site. You can fuck with Stu too, but let me show y'all mine first. I'm the priority here, motherfucker. This is my shit. All right, so you got the Game Time tee, Game Time on the front, oversized tee, Team Macho on the back. You got the I'm not a fucking scientist. I'm not supposed to curse in the first minute, but fuck it. I'm already demonetized, niggas. Facts. So yeah, I'm not a fucking scientist. I'm a bodybuilder. Yeah, so whatever you want to fuck with it. If you don't want to fuck with it, that's okay too. So yeah, like if you want, hey, if you don't even support me, if you support Kane, if you like dogs, if you want Kane to stay on his diet, you know what I'm saying, keep getting brolic, keep getting buff, fuck with some t-shirts. All right. If not, Kane gonna be hungry. I'll put the camera on him, but he's sleeping right now. They don't. That's why I said buff. I'm like, they don't know what brolic mean. If you're not from New York, you probably don't know. But anyway, support Stu as well, because he do this podcast. And I like to support my friend's business. Unlike everybody else who go rock Gucci and all that shit, I rock with my boys. So go cop Stu stuff, beefstew.net. He got the Fear the Fro shirt. That's my favorite right there, Fear the Fro Stu. And then he got this serious bodybuilding one, beef stew with the abs and thighs. Oh, he cheaper than mine. His is $28. Damn. I gotta drop my rate. I gotta match that rate. I'm gonna first cop my shit. But anyways, I don't want to make this too long. Team Macho, that shop, and beefstew.net. Fuck with your boys. Enjoy the episode.
Ladies and gentlemen.
When did they release the Arnold list? Yesterday, the day before?
Maybe 2 days ago. I don't remember.
Yeah. Did anybody surprise you from that?
Carlos Thomas Jr., maybe.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was. I mean, I did notice he looked really good, and he had posted a picture, and he doesn't post updates often. So I figured maybe an earlier show, but I didn't know he's on the Arnold.
We chat a lot of the time, once or twice a month. So we didn't talk about that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm actually texting him right now. I'm gonna send him a link and see. But he said prep got real, so he might be tired. Let me see. I'm gonna send him a link anyways. Forget it. Yeah, I'm gonna send him a link anyway. Hold on, my bad, let me send him the link. All right. Let's see. He may or may not hop on. Let's see. To be honest, I don't really know who's gonna hop on. It's like the day comes, because twice a week, bro, it flies by. So by the time the day comes, I'm like, holy fuck, I don't even know who's coming on. And that kind of became like a thing. So I just send a bunch of links, and whoever wants to jump on kind of jumps on. But let me go to the list. I bet. Let's see. Yeah, so I guess no, Derek surprised me as well. Derek surprised me. He wasn't shocked?
Not shocked. I mean, I think he's trying to make a statement,
Yeah. Like, he's somebody who usually does one show a year, but I think once you get the title, then lose it, there's almost no pressure anymore, right? It's like, most people are kind of counting him out. So it's not like if you lose to Arnold after you lost to Olympia, it's not like devastating, right? It's like, okay, well,
Right.
you know, Samson's Miss Olympia.
Did we ever
Um,
think? Did we ever figure out who he's going with for a coach?
no, but he has one because he said like they want to prep on the program or some shit like that, which would insinuate he has somebody.
Right.
Somebody said somebody who was. It seemed like a. Apparently, he's really good friends with AJ Sims, so that's that could make sense. I mean, Derek doesn't have issue with conditioning, but AJ's guys come in really fucking peeled. So
Yeah.
um, that could work. That could work. I could see that. You know,
Pat-
but
Patrick Moore would be another one that it was a little interesting to see up there too.
yeah. I I'm not sure what Patrick has to offer at the moment because he kind of had a time where he was kind of on the rise, but
Mm-hmm.
he just hasn't made any improvements. You know, honestly,
Didn't
he just really.
he took a little time off too, didn't he?
It's hard to say. It's like at one point he took like a long off season, but then he also said his sponsors want to force him to compete. It's kind of hard to get like a hold of what's really going on.
Right.
But everybody's body, you know, we don't know what he's doing or not doing, but everybody's body doesn't grow as fast as you know Samson or some of these guys. You know, I don't know. I don't think everybody's body. Not to say this is his case or not, but I don't think everybody's body can be, you know, 260 on stage. I think I think we believe that because we all work hard. So we're like, I'm 300, you could be 300 too, but I think some people can't be. Honestly, you know.
Well, shoot. I mean, half the guys in that lineup aren't 260.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So it's not like you necessarily have to be, but like with his structure, he needs more tissue, whatever
Right.
that means. It's not as much as you think when you have such a small waist like that. Let's say if I don't know his weight, but let's say if he competes at 235, him at 242 could be like a huge. That 7 pounds could look insane on him. You know.
No,
So
you can see 5 to 7 pounds really good on a big dude when it's straight muscle.
and you got to think about it. He's not going to put anything on his waist, right? Because some people, you put on 10 pounds and 3, 4 pounds go to your waist. You don't notice the size.
Yeah.
But his waist doesn't budge. So it's like, it's all going to go to shoulders, arms, legs, you know? So it's one thing. I could say his legs look bigger the last time I saw him, but here's the truth. It's like, you can't trade condition for size, right?
Not really, man, because you need to bring them both.
Exactly. But what happens sometimes is that you'll see somebody, maybe he only added 3, 4 pounds of muscle, but they want to get a like an effect like, oh, this guy really added size. So they'll come in 8 pounds heavier when
Right.
they're only 4 pounds more muscle, right?
They didn't get conditioned enough, and then they're holding too much. Yeah.
So now it kind of negates the size that you put on because you came in 4 pounds more muscular, but 4 pounds softer. So then now you just look kind of smaller and softer, right? Unfortunately, you know. So it seemed like that's been happening. I'm sure he's made some improvements, but you don't get to see it in comparison to his best look. Hey, no, you don't get to see it compared to his best look. But hopefully, you know. Mhm.
What do you got for a call out there? Are you waiting to see a couple more weeks here?
Honestly, I mean, the safest bet, you know, I would say we're looking at Samson, Derek, Andrew. This is where it gets tricky, right? Because those three are kind of cemented. But
Right.
Curry usually beats Bonac, but Bonac beat him at the Olympia.
Right.
You know, do you
Akeem,
think Curry? Huh?
I said Akeem's looking nasty this year too.
Akeem looking athlete. I think it's at a point that Akeem is capable of beating both Curry and Bonac. Actually, I believe at this point, you know,
He's so heavily muscled and he's conditioned now, so it's awesome, you know.
100%. So they're like a trade off. With age comes a trade off. Most people, most people get older, they get better. Okay, let's say Ramy from when he won the Olympia versus when he was a little younger. He lost some of the roundness and pop, but he gained a lot of graininess and dryness, right?
Right.
You see that with Bonac. Bonac isn't as bubbly as he used to be, but he's actually more peeled. As peeled as he was before, this guy is next level peeled now, but he doesn't have the same pop to his sweep. He doesn't have the same bubbliness, so it's kind of a trade-off. Whereas Akeem too, right? Akeem, he looks just as big to me personally. Just harder.
You know how old he is?
He's younger than Curry and Bonac, but close. So if they're like 42-ish, 43-ish, he would be probably, if not 40, 39. I would assume he's getting close, around there.
Same with Rodriguez and Patrick Moore. They're both.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They're both all up. I mean, and even De La Rosa, man. This is an old lineup.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. De La Rosa and Akeem are around the same age. Patrick, more surprisingly, he turned pro at like 34, 35 right. Even maybe. So he's definitely 40. Yeah, he's for sure 40. So he might be. I think he's the same 42. Age. Yeah. I think Patrick is like 42 as well. He doesn't look it. He looks still really.
Yeah. I think I got, man. If Carlos can come in condition, man, I think he's up in that top 5.
I got to be honest with you. I think me too. Honestly, bro, Carlos looks insane. He almost looks like the last pictures I've seen. He almost looks like a oversized Keon. Like that's how small his waist is compared to his body. It's insane.
Massive amount of muscle. Yeah,
and those quads is just crazy. Yeah, I think Carlos has the potential to beat everybody besides Samson, Derek, and Andrew. I think. Well, I'm not saying he can't beat them, but at this show, I think he can beat Akeem, Bonac, and Curry. It sounds crazy because he hasn't placed that high yet. But
what did he get? What was a Texas Pro? Was that like 4th?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he has the potential. I mean, potential is potential, right? But he has the potential to be in the top 4, literally. So.
It's gonna be fun to see because even I think John De La Rosa got 4th last year at the Arnold, right?
Yeah.
So
nobody's a slouch.
No.
So, well, I mean, they were all Olympians. Patrick Moore, Justin, Olympian. Well, I mean, everybody here is Olympian. Carlos the only one that isn't, but we're talking about him being top 4, which is that's how good he is. That's how good the lineup is. Yeah. It's a good lineup, man. Honestly, I'm excited. 4, 8, 12 guys. Usually, a couple people drop out here and there. Hopefully, nobody drops out. But seems
do they add anybody in after this point, or is that pretty much it?
Usually, no. In the past, it'll start off like 12, 13 guys, and then by the time the show comes, it's like 9 guys left.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Classic. I'm surprised. I mean, you don't see a ton of heavy hitters, but it's still a good lineup. Yeah. I mean, you got you got second in the world, so I mean, you're doing pretty good with that. And Wesley,
Wesley's got that Arnold look. You know what I mean? So,
so that works well for him.
Franklin,
Logan is one of the top guys. This Gabriel guy he had the really similar physique to Bumstead, so that really.
Did he win the Tampa? Was that what he won last year?
Yeah, he's won a few shows so far. I'm not sure what show he won last year, but he's won a handful of shows already.
Yeah.
Grego looks very impressive. So it's one of those lineups. Those are the ones I know right off the bat.
Right.
I know Jeremiah. He lives out here. He lives in Cali. I see him around.
Oh yeah, no, I compete with him at the North Americans when we won his pro card.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Joe too. Joe competed with him at the Cal, I believe.
Yeah.
What's
up, Joe?
Hey, what up?
Chilling.
We got talking about Jeremiah.
Yeah, we're talking about Jeremiah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, dude.
Yeah, he's doing Arnold. I like seeing that still. I don't really know the men's physique guys. I gotta be honest. I don't know if I know anybody here.
I'm right there with you. Sorry.
With all due respect. All right. National. Hey, for some reason, like I feel like they didn't do a good job covering nationals. I had to like really fucking scavenge to find the overall winner. I'm like, who won the overall, bro? Like, why I'm not seeing this shit. But it was
some
what was his
king,
name?
something.
Yeah,
King.
Regan King.
The blue collared bodybuilder. Yeah, that's the Instagram name. Blue collared bodybuilder. Regan.
Yeah. It was kind of confusing me because I'm like, I was looking for like an Instagram Regan King and I couldn't find it, but it wasn't his Instagram, something else. Let's check it out.
Did you guys end up looking at it?
Yeah, I looked at it. Did it have videos?
Did you think it was stacked, Joe?
What was that?
Did you think it was pretty stacked? Because all these boys brought the conditioning. At least the top 3 or 4 in each class were nailed, you know?
I was actually impressed with the super heavies because, like you said, the conditioning was there. Usually, you don't see that across the lineup. It was a good show. I actually liked the winner too. I didn't know who he was until the show, but
yeah.
So like
across the board, all the winners were legit. Like from the light heavy or whatever light heavies, heavyweight, all of them look really good, man.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So I was gonna say.
Third place for the super heavies, that's Jacob. I've competed with him at the USA's a couple times. He looked real good too.
The fact that go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was gonna talk about the heavyweight bodybuilders themselves. Like for Sid to get third, that's how good Justin and Tim John were. Those guys look good too, man.
On point. Yeah. Well, okay, so a few things. You brought up Jacob. Yeah. Is it me or I thought Jacob always looks good, but he never really got a good placing, right?
He's way improved this year, and working with the Cito, such a good dude, man. And he's always just like right there, 3rd or 4th, and it was real close there with him. You know, I thought, but yeah, his time's next. I think, you know.
I thought he's always, ever since I've seen him, I think I competed against him in 2020 maybe, a while back, and he was always peeled. Like he was always peeled. I'm not sure exactly what they wanted him to improve on, but of course, you know, you get bigger, harder until you get the nod.
I think he's 6 foot tall, so he's got a lot of frame to fill out. He's got a wide clavicle, so he's a big boy. You know what I mean? He's got a lot of. He's got to really put it on.
Yeah, they were all peeled, like not in shape. They were peeled. Every single, this entire top 5 is peeled. You know, so that's all you can ask for. You know, when people talk about names, it's like it's a different time now. Like nobody has names. It's like if you're an amateur, chances is you don't have 1 million followers and fucking a bunch of sponsors and shit, right? So you're not gonna be fucking famous, you know. So it's like we can't expect names as popularity. All we can hope for is good physiques in shape, you know. So this is not the days of magazines where guys are famous before they turn pro. It's not like a thing per se. So just because we don't know somebody doesn't mean they're not, you know, really good bodybuilders.
Unless you're Eric Jackie.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows that.
You know, and the dude that dropped out.
Elliot is actually really popular.
Yeah, he's probably kind of a popular amateur. You know.
Okay, just think about that. The most popular amateurs are the ones who don't actually compete.
You know, I thought about that the other day. Like for real.
It's crazy.
You know, you didn't have the following of all these other guys. What the fuck?
I mean, Janicki is a phenomenal bodybuilder, but he's only done what, 4 shows total, really. He's only done 4 shows. So if you think about that, it's crazy how that works. It's just a different time.
Who is this?
Huh?
What's his Instagram?
Oh, Eric Janicki, right? That's Janicki Fitness? Or, no?
Yeah, K or CK?
Let me see. Eric Janicki. Janicki. He was on. Well, he's been on here, but he was on Board Chat. He does the no, he doesn't do RP strength, but he does like the scientific training.
There we go.
You know who I'm talking about now, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so, that
the light heavy at New Mexico, he fucking took it.
Yeah.
He was peeled. I seen it 5 weeks out. I'm like, it didn't matter who showed up. He was shredded.
See, not only was he shredded, but he had. Is this mission light heavy? What is this lightweight? Not only is he shredded.
That's welter.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
His waist is tiny, and he's got.
Okay,
there he is.
That's what I was getting at. If you're the most peeled guy, then you can only lose off of not having enough muscle or not having a good structure. I mean, he had the muscle, he had the structure, and he was the most peeled. So it was like there's no way he's gonna lose that battle.
I mean, the dude that got second quad sweep is incredible. He was real good too.
He was, yeah. This guy right here. What's his name? Charlie.
Yeah.
Open a new tab. What do you see? What do you guys see on the screen? Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry if I'm like, I'm trying to drive and do the same time. I didn't want to be super late.
Oh no, you got it.
So I set up a massage appointment for my girl because she started to get that tightness in her back and stuff.
Yeah.
And in her pelvis. So I thought the massage was 60 minutes, but it was 90. I was like, oh fuck.
Oh damn.
That's why I was like, I'm gonna be a little late. But I was like, I wasn't gonna rush it. She was all fucking. She was feeling good and shit. So I was like, okay.
For anybody who didn't catch it on Instagram, Joe's girl is pregnant, so Joe's going to be a father, which is dope.
Yeah, congrats, Joe, man. That's so exciting, dude.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I've known for a while, so when I announced it, people were like, oh, that's such a pleasant surprise kind of thing. I'm like, well, it was a surprise a while back. I was like, but we Ashley wanted to like speak on it or put it out there once we do the gender. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know the gender?
Yeah, it was actually on the post. It's just all the dudes didn't figure out that the background was blue and it was a baby Mickey. So it was the boy.
Awesome.
It flew over all the guys' heads. All the girls do.
I didn't catch it either.
I didn't even catch it.
Yeah, I got a little boy coming. So
hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
That's what's up, bro. You got kids, Rafe?
Yeah, I got a 20-year-old and a 16-year-old. Yeah,
he's been a dad.
That's wild. For some reason, like in my head, I kind of assume most bodybuilders don't have kids, but it's not really true. A lot of bodybuilders have kids. Sometimes you don't know till you ask, right? I didn't know what Rafe had kids. So sometimes you don't really know till you ask. But Ronnie Coleman has 8 daughters. That's insane.
Oh.
How? When were you doing this?
Hey, Fred, let me tell you, it's possible.
It's possible. It is possible. So this idea that I know guys who are bodybuilders who like don't use any protection, like with their girlfriends, just every day, whatever, no protection. I'm like, yeah, no, she won't get pregnant. I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, don't assume that, man. Don't do that. I mean, unless like you don't mind, but like if not, don't do that. Don't take that shit. I don't believe it's like just because, but I don't care if you're fucking what do you call it? FSH is -10. So sometimes like shit, you see, you know what I'm talking about.
So that was a conversation though. Like when it happened the very first time, I was like, hey, honestly, like I'm on board with it, and if you are too, then I told her, I said it's rare, but it could happen. Like it could definitely happen. She said, no, if it happens, it's meant to happen. So that's what happened.
Simple as that. And we're also getting older, so it's always like I feel like it's always like for us, it's always like someday, not right now, someday, but it's like when the fuck is someday?
One day or day one, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you can't keep saying someday for, we're saying someday for 10 years now. It's like, damn, at what point is it that day? You just, some the other day, So eventually, yeah, I'm at a point if that did happen, I would just be on board. Just, yeah, let's do it. Why not?
It's fun, bro. I mean, we're in our 30s now. So
yeah,
it's kind of like, I thought it was the perfect time for me to do it anyways. Like when I stepped off stage at the Cal, in my head, I already wanted to like start thinking about starting a family.
Yeah.
So, I'm 30 years old, like what? I got maybe, hopefully, another 10 years in me of this bodybuilding thing. So
yeah.
After that, it's like, fuck, I don't want to be like barely trying to start at 40 years old. So
exactly, yeah. Well, you also started bodybuilding later, so you might have more than that actually on you. But who knows?
Yeah.
You don't know where.
Hope for the best, expect the worst, kind of thing.
yeah. No, who knows? Like when it comes to that, you just go with the flow. You might not even want to in 10 years. Who the fuck knows? Life takes you different places, but
being 30, young 30s like you guys are now, you're a little bit more established, had a little bit of life underneath you, done partying and shit, and you can settle in. I had kids when I was 20, and I'm trying to build, start my own business and fresh marriage, and it's a lot more rough. I mean, you're not established, you're fighting hard every day. I mean, it was awesome. It teaches you a lot, right? But I feel like if I had any advice for anybody, hold off just a little, wait till you couple years into your 20s at least, but.
My older brother had his first child. He has two. They're 10 years apart. And, no shit. Yeah, 10 years apart. And because he was still trying to go from a kid to an adult, he was still going out and partying. He would leave the kid with my mom. And he eventually became, I would say, a good dad.
Yeah.
But, I didn't want that. I didn't want that shit. I wanted to want to be around my kid and want to stay home. And that's kind of where I'm at, man. I've been like that for like the last at least 2 years, 3 years maybe. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. This is kind of like my life now. So
time's right. Time's right.
At 23, I was ready to be a dad in my head. I was like, yeah, fuck it. With my girl at the time, I'm like, yeah, if it happens, let's do it. But I was 23, bro. Like I didn't even know what the fuck that meant. I thought I did. I thought I did. So luckily it didn't happen that way. But if it would have happened, like you said, I would have became a good dad eventually. I mean, at some point,
eventually.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like there's some benefits in that because, like now when you're 40, your kid is like older, so it's kind of cool, right? In some ways, you get to be more relatable, understand him more because you're not so far apart. So like it's gonna be tough at the time, but in the future, it kind of works out. So you can look at it as a blessing either way. Everything happens how it's supposed to. That's what I feel. Some people think that sounds, like a fantasy or some shit. But I honestly believe things happen exactly how it's supposed to happen for you, even if it doesn't feel like that.
Even the thought of like I said, I'm 30, right? I'll be 31 when they're born. So say they go to high school, man. I could actually if he wants to lift weights and shit with me and shit, like I can do that. Like I have the capability, like to do that, keep up with him to an extent, So. Be by his side, like that's shit that I think we all dream about. Like our kids wanting to be by our side and do that kind of thing. So everybody has that luxury.
No, that's also why I don't want to be too old. When I have a kid either. So that's the thing. Just because we can, because we're men, we don't really have a clock. But I mean, you really want to have your first kid at 50? Some people do. Some people. Well, when did Dave Palumbo have his first kid?
He was older, definitely way older.
Yeah, definitely in his 40s. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the. Oh yeah, well, one thing I wanted to ask Rafe is, when was your first show?
My first show, like ever.
Yeah.
2003 Western Natural USA or Western Naturals in Phoenix, Arizona, and then I did 3 shows that year. That was in March. Then I did the there was some other show like in April I did, and I won that one as a team. And then the Phoenix Open, I won the teen division there. And the kid that got second to me, I don't even remember his name, but just to put it in perspective, when we got to nationals, because he had already qualified, I won my class and he got 10th in his class.
So that tells you the story. That tells you
right. And it was a fun ride, man. It was real fun. And then right after that I got married.
Okay, so what I wanted to know is what transpired, because you took like almost a 20-year hiatus. Hiatus. You like that word?
I'm trying to say that. I'm gonna take it down if he doesn't fucking say it.
Somebody had to say the word. Yeah, no. I want to know what transpired in those 18 years.
Well, shit. So 21, 20, I have my first kid, and I was still lifting. I wasn't competing. I was still lifting. And then I had, they're like 2 years apart. So bing, 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 right? So by 23, I got 23, 24, I have 3 kids. And I'm still training at the time. Scott Stevenson was coaching me. And then I met Phil Heath at the
Scott Stevenson?
Yeah.
I thought he was like a powerlifting coach, no?
He was Dave Henry's best friend. And they lived here in Tucson, and I was in Tucson. And they're best friends, and Dave Henry had him as his coach, winning the first 202 Olympia. So it was pretty cool. The dude's a freaking brain, man. He's a knowledgeable dude. He's got multiple doctorates. He can cite things like no other. I mean, he's just an encyclopedia. Awesome guy. But yeah, I had met Dave Henry here at the gym we trained at, and he trained out there. And then I had moved away back to Washington State and started the family, and then moved to Colorado, and I was being coached online by Scott. And then we were in Denver at one of my buddy's shows, was talking with Phil Heath, and then Hanny Rambaud called me. And it just didn't make sense in my life at that point in time. I had 3 young kids. I was trying to, I had my own house already at 21 years old. Yeah. So, and it was my own construction business. So, and then that's when the recession hit in 2006. So I had all these things coming down on me. And I'm just like, dude, I got to pull the plug right now. So I still kept training on and off. But I didn't.
Did you miss it? Did you miss it? Like, did you be like, oh man, can't wait to get back stage, or you were just busy with life?
I was so busy with life, and I'm really good at construction, just like I'm really good at owning these gyms and training clients. Like, it's another passion. I have those 2 passions. I'm really good at it. And ended up doing 15 years of construction, man, running my business down here in Arizona and doing really well. But then when I met Melissa, I started the gyms and shut the construction down 8 years ago. And then that's when I started sparked that fire again, because she was already a pro. We started doing some powerlifting, and then about 4 years into the relationship, she gets back into competing. She wins the she gets to the Olympia in the women's physique. She was top call out 2 years in a row at the Olympia, and then moved to women's bodybuilding. So I got back into it because I'm like, well, shit. She's doing it. The whole lifestyle makes sense. I still lifted on and off through that whole time, but I kind of backed off all the fun stuff, right? So there's a big gap of me not taking much of anything in there. You know what I mean? So I kind of like restarted again. So
that's kind of a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Hey Joe, do you feel like if you? Hey, what's up, Stu? Joe, can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was gonna say if you feel like would you feel like you would be able to stop competing like for 20 years as long as you were able to still work out and have fun in the gym, and you had something else that you were really fucking good at, like you owned a bunch of gyms and shit, and you were having a great time with that? Would you would be able to stop like right now?
Yeah, even I've actually, as hard as it is to say, there's a possibility that I may stop for a little bit competing wise. Mm-hmm. The goal is to not do that. Mm-hmm. Like actually pushes me to, for example, this year to still compete at Tampa coming up. Mm-hmm. But there's a chance that I may not do it and just sit out this year to focus on the baby. So
Yeah.
it's definitely crossed my mind as far as having to take at least a year or two off to establish my foundation of a kid.
Yeah.
So, but right now, she told me, she's like, no, Joe, like, I want you to, but that's all hearsay until we actually have the baby, you
Start
know. It
to see
sounds
how
it
it is.
sounds it sounds like all fine and dandy until you actually see how shit goes, you know. So
I mean, 1 or 2 years off. Oh, that's like. I mean, you're young, man. 1 or 2 years is like
but
that's
20, I think because
you're
of what
20.
his background, right? I
Yeah.
feel like it was almost like impossible to not, with his wife being in the Olympia and shit, him having the
Yeah.
background he had, like him being foundationally set. It's like if he didn't, it's like, come on, man, what are you doing? Like,
Right.
finish the damn job. Like,
Right.
What's good, Stu? What's up, Stu?
Guys.
But would you even have hey Stu?
Yeah.
If you took 18 years off of bodybuilding, do you think you would actually still have the fire to be able to come back?
No.
That's what I'm thinking.
but
I'm like,
you
I'll be
heard
like,
it's
yeah,
in Rap's situation. His
yeah,
wife's kind of ignited the fire, and you seeing her
that's
doing
true.
it, it's like, well, kind of like, man, this is exciting. I want to do this shit too. Like,
That's true. Yeah, but prep is hard, bro. Once I go 18 years, once I go 18 years not doing it, I'll be like, man. Especially if I'm successful and I love what I do already. It was one thing if I'm working a job, I fucking hate this shit. I fucking hate this shit. But if I love what I'm doing, it would be hard to get myself to do that. It would be difficult, you know. That's
but if you have training, would you be like, I wonder what the fuck I look like now? Like,
I don't know, man. It's hard to say, bro. That's a long time, bro. That's a long time.
It's a little different though, because as a teenager, I only had like 3 or 4 years in it, actually training to compete. And then it was like I had to right after I won, it was like that was it. And I didn't know what was gonna happen. You're too young. I was 19. So, when you're established a little bit more like these guys are, pro cards already competed in pro shows, to pull the plug would be a little bit harder. It'd be harder for me now to stop than it was back then.
Oh, okay. Back then, you could have a house at 21. I haven't seen a 21-year-old with a house in some time now, man. That's not a thing these days, is it?
Well, I think, what do they say? The average homeowner age, this was like 15 years ago, was 38 years old. So I got to believe it's more in the 40s now.
Yeah, so that sounds about right. Sounds about right. Hey, what's up, Stu?
Howdy.
It's been a while. When was the last time you were on?
Fuck, like over a week ago.
Yeah. Oh, damn. What's new?
That was a show.
Nationals was yesterday. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Gio won his pro card. Thank
course.
God. Some other guys won their pro cards. Justin O'Donnell won his pro card.
The thing.
I don't care about anybody else, frankly.
Boys. How was the energy there? Did it feel like yo, this is the Nationals, like this is a big deal, or did it feel kind
of? It was decent. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been going to like national shows for 10 years or anything. So like, imagine, 10, 15 years ago, it was much crazier. But it was decent. I mean, the deepest class was light heavyweights. There was like 37 or 38 guys.
That's the thing.
So that was a really good class. And then heavyweights was generally bad. Like the top three were good, but the heavyweights were pretty bad.
I thought that was the usually a really good class.
It usually is, but I mean, like easily half of them were like nowhere near in shape.
Like, they should have been light heavies.
Yeah. Well, not in shape and a lot of other problems, honestly. Like the top three was like the only like really legit guys in there.
It's usually the opposite. It's usually like most supers should have been heavyweights, but these supers were in shape.
Yeah. I think like the top 5, 6 were in pretty good shape, and then
it fell
off. The guy who won supers, won the overall as well, and there's one dude. He won the middleweight class. You should pull up his pictures because he looks.
Bro,
you know what I'm talking about?
literally, I was like, I think he's gonna win overall. It might sound crazy,
he could
I thought he was too.
it might sound crazy to say that the middleweight winning overall, but legit, I was actually I just pulled him. I think I just pulled him up earlier.
That to do with the big old quads?
Yeah, the crazy quads.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was here.
When I saw the pictures, the updates, I thought he was going to win the overall. Like, when's the last time a middleweight won the overall?
Yeah. I think I left a comment. Literally, I literally think I left a comment on the thing. Like, I think this guy can win overall. At first, I was like, I don't know if he's peeled enough, and then I saw the back shot.
Yeah, he's
there, and I was like, oh, he is, because you know with the black guys, sometimes the glutes and hams, right? So I'm like, I don't know, and then I was like, whoa, okay, this motherfucker could win.
This guy has been bodybuilding for like 2 years. He's Muslim, so and you know his family does not approve of this like competing. So
Astaghfirullah.
He told me he wasn't even going to tell his parents that he went pro. I actually ran in, like he walked up to me in the lobby and I was just talking to him. I was like, yeah, what class are you in? I didn't realize it was him. And it was like, oh, you're in the middleweights. There's this one crazy looking dude in there. He's like super round. You know what I'm talking about? He's like, are you talking about me, bro? And then he showed me his arm. I was like, yeah, that's you.
Definitely. But he looks insane. We got to get him on the podcast. What's his name?
He's really nice. He's a really nice guy.
Nice guy. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, he looks. I don't know what other shows he's done, but this motherfucker could have won the overall, bro. I would have had no problem with that.
Last year, actually.
Oh, he was smaller last year.
Is that third place in welters? Yeah,
he was a little bit smaller, but I mean, he still looked phenomenal. Yeah, he was a little bigger and sharper this year, but shit, he could have won last year too. Yeah, I was gonna ask who impressed you the most in the entire lineup. Him?
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. That's legit.
And keep in mind, he's 176 pounds as a middleweight, so he could put on 35 pounds of muscle from here and be a 212 guy still, which is crazy to think.
There's so much levels to genetics. You'll see somebody and be like, wow, this person's crazy. And then you see another person and you're like, damn, this is like another fucking step of genetics, you know? It never stops. Because our friend turned pro too, a black Superman.
Yeah.
Turned pro too. And
he did?
Because I think he missed it by one placing in bodybuilding and then he got it in classic. Or he might have got it in both, I'm not sure. I know he got it though.
Yeah, he did.
They get it. Yeah, I mean, talk about genetics. Some of these guys, man, it's insane. I was also impressed with Tim John. You know,
Tim Klein. Yeah, he won the heavies
because he was a super heavy usually, and he dropped down, right?
Yeah. So he competed against Sid last weekend at the qualifying show, and Sid won. Him.
Right.
Sid was in third here.
Looking from here, Tim is a little bit shorter, maybe a little denser, I would say. Sid has better shape and structure.
So yeah, I think Tim has better muscularity. I think his conditioning in person was a little bit better than Sid's.
Okay.
Not vastly, but a little bit.
Yeah. Let me go to Tim's page. I will say I saw this picture this picture, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen him that peeled before. So he definitely brought his best.
Well, it makes sense. He went down to heavyweight.
Yeah. Sometimes that's what it takes, you know. Yeah. That might be what I need to do. I need to go down to light heavies, you know. To see. I go down light heavies. Even middleweight, I gotta do something. All right. Who surprised you the most, if anybody, in supers? Or is pretty much, hey, we can't see you, Stu, by the way.
Yeah, so my battery died. I'm back.
Okay.
In supers, the guy who got third, actually, so he, his name's
Jacob.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know Jacob.
In Fusino. So he did the 22 USAs, I realized.
The one you was in, did he do it?
Yeah, and he was like
Yeah.
seventh there. He wasn't in
Mm-hmm.
shape. He was a lot smaller back then. So he's made a lot of progress. But first look, he was in the second callouts in the supers,
Huh.
and then they ended up rejudging at the finals, and he got pulled up into the first callouts, and yeah, he got third.
Honestly, even back then, I always thought he always placed a little bit lower than he should have, but not anything alarming. Just a little bit lower than he should have. But I think he
His
finally got the.
conditioning was good, and he had good arms, good shape.
Yeah,
Um, his conditioning wasn't as good as Gio and Reagan's, but yeah, very good look for him.
good poser too. He works with Chris, so that makes sense. Yeah, I think he finally got the look because he almost didn't get the look, like you said. But I think he finally got the look, so I think now he's gonna get the look, which is good to him. Good job, Jacob. We got to get him on before he turns pro because I keep waiting until people turn pro to get them on by accident.
And then they don't have time for us.
All right, this is the. Did you know Regan King before this?
He qualified at the Texas show the last
Uh,
weekend, so I saw him on stage there, and he looked good. I thought at the time I didn't think he would beat Gio, but I don't disagree with that placing. After seeing him on
okay.
stage together, um, he's more muscular. He was very well peaked. Like he was full and very hard. So yeah, he looked good. I think he definitely deserved that.
See, sometimes you got to be there in person because sometimes it's hard to pick up some of these things because watching the picture, I thought Gio was going to win, but what you're saying, that's what it looked like in person. Then that
Yeah,
makes sense.
in person, definitely he's very grainy, and yeah, he in person it does look a little different in the pictures.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it looks like he's muscular and in great condition, but in the pictures, his structure doesn't look as good as when he's on stage. Actually, he looks better on stage. He's one of the stage bodybuilders. It's a good thing. Yeah. All right. Hey, let's talk about the Arnold. Now that you guys are on the Arnold lineup, where is it? 1 second. How do you go back? Okay. Who posted the Arnold lineup? It's on. It should be here, right? Bodybuilding my voters. Where did I pull it up?
Somewhere down there.
Somewhere here. Hold up. A second. Oh, boom. Boom. Oh, also, did you see Derek? Derek posted something. Where's the pull up tag? Derek posted a video that he looked pretty crazy at. But let me actually pull that up first. Derek posted like a video. This one. Boom. You guys saw this?
I
Yeah.
haven't seen this one.
It's crazy how big his legs look when he's like in prep and off season. Though it looks like his best body part until he's on stage. Is it just me?
I think. Well, I mean, when you're on stage, you don't get to post like the flattering angles and stuff. So maybe it's the
That's true.
angle of how he.
That's
There's
true
sometimes
too.
where my legs look huge. And there's sometimes where my legs look like I don't have no legs. What
That's
the fuck?
that's true too. That's true too. What I do is I usually put the camera really low, and then it makes my legs look bigger when the camera's low.
That's what I'm saying. You're
But
an
yeah,
Instagram bodybuilder or
oh for sure, yeah,
what?
that's my expertise, man. Yeah, but I mean, he looks insane to me. He looks insane. Anybody thinks he can still beat Samson?
Yeah.
No, I think he can.
I think so
I
too.
don't think I mean I think Samson looks incredible, but I don't think he has like that Ronnie Coleman kind of like reign. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
all three of them are beatable amongst
I
each
think
other.
so.
Him, Hottie, and Derek.
I think I think if his conditioning and skin texture look like Hadi and Derek, then I don't think they could beat him. But I don't know if that's a thing. I don't think it works that way. I think we want to believe it works that way, that anybody can look like that. No. But everybody can't look like that. It doesn't matter what you do. I mean, work harder, do more cardio. That's cool, but that's not how it works sometimes. So
I think they're generally speaking, the league in the past was a lot more concerned with like keeping the status quo intact. So if you had no Mr. Olympia competing in an Arnold, pretty fucking unlikely he's going to get beaten by anybody there.
Yeah, that's
right.
True.
I don't think that's the case anymore, which I think it's a good thing, and I think they've kind of realized that if these guys are leapfrogging each other, it makes it more interesting, and a lot more people tune in and want to watch the show, and it also makes it a lot more fair for the athletes, and there's no dynasties that have to be dethroned like 10 years ago.
I think that dynasty shit is super boring, super fucking boring.
I enjoyed watching. I enjoyed watching Steve-O reign though.
That actually was, but I never thought it was actually close. I gotta be honest.
That's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like it's cool to see someone like that winning.
Yeah, but it would have been so much more fun. I feel like it would have been. I feel like during Phil's reign, the reason why Phil didn't get a lot of love, it wasn't Phil's fault. It was just because everybody kind of got bored. Back then you could predict the entire top 8, top 10 verbatim and get it right almost every year. Maybe a couple. Maybe Dennis Wolf might switch with Branch, and Branch might switch with this guy. But for the most part, you would get the names right every single year. It's going to be Branch and Dexter were going to be in there. Wolf going to be in there. It was the same shit. Now, I don't think any of us got it right. None of us got that top 10 right this year.
Well, so, part of that is, I think these guys that had that big reign actually were that much better a lot of the time. There was a couple of close years, I'm sure, but
good point.
You know what I mean?
I can't in good faith actually say that Kai deserved to beat Phil at the Olympia.
Right.
Outside the Olympia, he did deserve to beat him, and he did beat him at the Arnolds. Every single Arnold, he beat him. He should have beat him at Shoe Classic probably, but nobody's counting that.
Right.
It don't matter.
Yeah, you had the Indian judges. You had the Indian judges at that show. So, that's kind of different. But I mean, you wasn't gonna coax Phil Heath to come to your show and then he loses. You come to India and lose, Phil. Like that's a hard thing to sell. So Phil got to win that one. But yeah, you're right. It might not even be intentionally done. It might just literally be that it's so close now that nobody's running away with shit.
Right.
Lunsford won the Olympia, and then the following year, a lot of people didn't even have him in the top 2, and they were right because he didn't get the top 2. Which is crazy to think about. So nobody had a strong grasp on it. But I do think Derek can beat Samson. I mean, he's beaten him plenty of times.
Hey, did that happen to Derek in the 212 one time too? Like, well, he was like second place, and then he went to like 5th.
Yeah.
Did that happen to him?
It did. His first Olympia ever, he was 3rd or 4th, right? And then he went up 4th. Then he went up to like 2nd, and then he went back to 5th until there was more shows than that, but he's been I think he's been 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then he went back to 1st. He went to 1st with Hani, but it wasn't like a straight narrow kind of thing. But let's go back to the list. Okay, I always do this shit. I come. All right. So who you got top 3, Stu? That's pretty easy. That's kind of easy though.
Samson, Derek, and Carlos.
Oh yeah.
You think Carlos gonna beat Andrew?
Yes.
I think he can. I think he can.
I mean, I think he can too, but
A friend of the show, and I'm pulling for him.
For, I think he for sure, with all due respect, I think he for sure can beat Curry and Bonac, so which would put him in fourth. But all they're both Arnold winners, and one is an Olympia champion. But I honestly think Carlos can beat them. Whether he will or not, that's really going to depend on his stomach. I mean, not his like stomach look, but like his stomach health. If gut
it's health.
So that's really the limiting factor here. Hey, is this the first time we have 1, 2, 3 Olympia champions in Open, 1 212 Olympia, and Bonac won the Arnold, Curry won the Arnold, Sampson won the Arnold.
There's 2 212 Olympias.
Oh shit! Holy fuck! That's crazy. And then who won the Arnold? We got Sampson, Bonac, Curry, right? So 3 Arnolds, 2 212 Olympias, 3 Open. That's never happened before at Arnold. Impossible. So that's technically this is one of the most competitive Arnolds if you look at it that way. Which is going to be going to be a good show. Who's going? You guys going to the show? No.
Probably. Probably going with Gasp, if not someone else. Maybe. Wheels are in motion. I don't know.
Yeah. Tell them to throw me on your itinerary. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, I'll just throw you in my suitcase, okay, buddy?
What's up, Carlos?
Yo, what's up?
Speak of the devil.
We were just talking about you, bro.
Oh shit!
Stu got you. He got you beating Andrew, man. You ready for that?
I'm ready, bro. Why do you think I'm in it? I'm not in it to fuck around.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Carlos in prep. He in prep mode now. He's not fucking around.
Yeah, for real. Holy shit!
What's good, brother?
Oh man, not too much, brother. Just chilling.
How you feeling? How you feeling so far in prep? And how long you been prepping? First of all,
started at 24 weeks out of Detroit and 20 weeks out of Arnold. So
okay,
yeah. So was 11 weeks out? So yeah, about 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Does
anybody actually know like your off season weight and stage weight so far? I don't think I'm aware of.
I mean, off season weight, I think we came up to about like 258.
What?
But
that's it?
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
What the fuck, man?
Oh,
yeah.
I mean,
I know he looks all huge.
I mean, but if you think of the height, 5'6", 260. I mean, he looks even bigger than that, honestly. But that's really heavy still.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too heavy and stretch my skin out because obviously like the thing for me is bringing in like the backside more condition all over, but especially my backside. So I didn't want to stretch the skin out and get my skin any thicker than what it is. So just kept it a little bit on the leaner side and just focus on bringing up the body parts that I needed to bring up, mostly the back. So that was about it, man. I could have been 270 easy if I wanted to push, but didn't do it.
Well, I mean, for your gut health, is eating a lot of food or a lot or a really high surplus or really low deficit, does that fucks with your stomach a bit?
It's mostly just just the type of food it is, So like if I start to try to eat, like I can't eat like a ton of red meat. I know like Stu, you're a high protein guy. You could do like 10 ounces and stuff. I can't do that. So my protein hovers around maybe at the most 7. But I feel comfortable around 5.
Oh,
like, that's where like my digestion is really good. Yeah, for me, and it just works for me. It's less stress on my gut. Like the carbs I have no problem eating. Like I eat rice. I'll eat mostly like gluten-free stuff. So rice, white potatoes. I mean, most of us are mostly eating gluten-free unless you like eat sourdough bread or something like that. But yeah, I'm the carbs are no problem. It's the protein. When the protein gets like 10, 12 ounces, I just can't handle it for that long. I can do it in spurts, but not as long as like a whole off season.
Okay.
How much? Lowered mine a bit this off season. I haven't noticed any downside. Honestly, my stomach feels a little better. It's easier to eat. I like high protein diets, but like I'm not married to them so much anymore.
That's what I was always trying to say. Do you remember this podcast? Do you not remember this shit?
About there's like a limit. I think there's a limit when a calorie just becomes a calorie at that point, just because there's so much food.
I always just thought about like, okay, whatever your stage weight is, if you go like 50, 60 grams above that, that'd be fine, right? Like, so you're coming on stage, say 255, and you have around 300, 310 grams of protein for the day. I think that's more than enough. I really do.
It should be. Everybody's a bit different, but for the most part, there's always going to be like some kind of limit. I think some people need more than others. I think Stu just needs more of everything than other people. Like honestly, but I don't think it all has to come from protein per se.
Right, so.
He's like, what?
Was that a derogatory statement? What does that even mean?
Do you guys not get hungry though? Like even in the off season, I get hungry between meals, eating all the meals. Never get hungry.
I don't get hungry. I gotta be honest.
I can eat every 2 hours. I'm just like starving.
Damn. I could eat once a day at this point, and I'd be.
I'm at 10 ounces a meal for all mine right now.
I'm at 8, but only 5 meals, so that's like 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting around like close to 400 grams of protein, good. But I do, I do like some shakes and stuff, like 20 grams of protein here, with like pre-workout or post-workout. I'll do like 30 grams of protein. Yeah, so it's like sprinkled in here and there. I'll do like shakes. It's like I'm doing a full shake meal, but I'll sprinkle in 20 grams, 30 grams, 20 grams here. So that'll boost up. Yeah.
He sprinkles protein powder on his salad. Like,
bro, I'm like, you ever seen Jay Cutler in his videos where he's just like eating the protein powder out of the cup?
That's disgusting. Y'all remember Skip LaCour, the natural bodybuilder?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, natural is a strong word because they had like because the same supplement company had like pro hormones, but it was at the time it was legal, so natural as it could be. But he would have allegedly, I've seen him eat it, but allegedly he would have 6 protein. Every meal was protein powder, every single meal, to the point that he would sprinkle it on his rice, sprinkle it on his veggies. And I've seen videos of him doing it. I don't know if he's doing it for the camera or not, but I kind of believe him. But I'm like, bro, that's crazy. He believed that whey protein isolate was the best protein. I don't know if I disagree or agree, but he took it to a level further, and he looked great. So maybe it's possible that I think Dexter
point. Like if you're trying to force down a high protein diet and like it's fucking up your stomach and you can't function, like with Carlos, then who cares? It's not like Carlos has an issue with wasting away muscle, right?
No,
exactly.
Some body types, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
If Carlos went down to,
I was gonna say, even in prep, like I've had times where like we'll pull protein down, just because I feel like my body gets really efficient at holding on to holding on the muscle, holding on the body fat. It'll just hold, right? So when I get to a certain body weight, I was explaining, like my protein requirements aren't the same, so I could bring it down some. And I think my body gets really good at, what is that? Like gluconeogenesis. I think my body is really good at that, especially when it gets to the nitty gritty, like and it's fighting to get off the body fat. Like it'll take that extra protein and it'll just use all those extra calories. So where someone could keep 10 ounces of protein in the whole 10 ounces per meal the whole way, like I might have to bring mine down to 8 ounces towards the end of a prep, just because it's a calorie, right? So I have to pull down from somewhere, and carbs are already low for me.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
I think it just shows how individually dependent we are. We're all different, right? And age, size, genetics, it all just plays a factor. Stomach, gut health.
Yeah. The weight sometimes it won't come off. Like I could get to a point which I have plenty of times. Like I'm on 20 or 30 carbs for the entire day, and the weight still isn't dropping. 2.5 hours carb, the weight is dropping, and that's when Justin will pull the protein down. You would think, well, you need the protein high to keep the muscle, but if you're not in shape, the muscle doesn't matter. So you still have to get in shape. If you're not getting in shape, something has to give. So usually, once the protein go down a little bit, I'll start dropping weight again. It is what it is. I mean, you don't do it because you want to do it. You do it because you have no fucking choice. If you can get shredded off of fucking 12 ounces of protein and 12 carbs a meal, you keep eating. But if you can't get lean, you got to drop it. So it is what it is. Everybody's body's so different that there's no rules, man. You make that shit up as you go. Sometimes, like fuck it, I guess
No
we
rules,
doing it.
exactly.
So that's one of those things. Yeah, some people their protein needs to go up so they don't get too small. So it's one of those things. But Carlos, you're doing what other shows are you doing besides Arnold? You said Detroit, and what else you thinking?
Detroit, and then I didn't know, but the Brazil, the Arnold Brazil, it is like 10 days or like a week, 14 days after Detroit. So that's a possibility. But then FIBO is in April, and that's a little farther down the line. So that'd be pretty cool to do. And then there's Pittsburgh and New York. So it's like there's a run of shows that would be really cool to be able to do. So I mean, after Detroit, I don't really plan on stopping.
Yeah. Do you guys think they should change the qualifications to the Olympia by either adding points back or like top two at some shows, just because of there's so many really good competitors? Or no?
No.
No, I kind of like. I think it's cool. I like the way it is. Like, wasn't it like top at one point? It was top 3 or top 5 at a regular pro show, and you got in.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time where the top 10 of the Olympia would qualify for next year. I don't know how the fuck they managed that, and it was like top 3 at most shows, which sounds crazy. But they didn't have that many shows back then. I think it's a little different.
The point system was only for 3 people, though, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they brought it back, then maybe point system for like one person, maybe.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah. Then like that, then I could see it being justified. But if you got like 5 people coming in on points, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
There's just so much talent. I get it though. It is the best of the best, but there's so much talent out there. In my head, I'm trying to align the shows and who's going to qualify. I'm like, there's going to be a lot of really good people that won't be able to get a qualification just because you only have so many American shows, but you have a lot of really good bodybuilders both here and there. So it's gonna be tough. And some people might do a bunch of shows. I don't know how many shows Samson or Nick or Derek are gonna do, but if these guys are doing a lot of shows too, it's gonna make it even harder. Which is, I guess, it's just how sports go, right? It is what it is.
The downside is you have 60 classic competitors at the Olympia.
Yeah, that's the crazy. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, but we don't want that at the Olympia.
No, we don't want
I think
that.
20 is probably
20,
22 is high as you'd ever want. There was a year when we had like 37 guys qualified because of like differences in timing with the Olympia. And the point system, and I mean that's too many.
That's too much. I think minimum, I want to see minimum at least 16 guys, maximum 20 to around 20-ish. I think that's good. How much did we have last year? We didn't have too much, right? Maybe like 20.
We had 20 qualified, and there was a few people who couldn't go.
Okay.
That's a good number.
Yeah. All right, you guys want to get to questions? I kind of want to eat. How you feeling, Carlo? You feeling fucked up yet, or you feeling that?
I mean, I didn't even think I would get. I thought I would have more time. I mean, I have time, but like I was playing. I was like, I thought do the Arnold. It's just Detroit. So that's another 4 weeks. So yeah, things have to change. Things had to change. So that's when you start pulling some things here, adding some things there, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man! Right. Excited to see it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got. Is there an ideal X amount of muscle per inch of height, in y'all opinion, or is that not a thing? I think he means like let's say if you're 5'6" and I'm 5'10", and I want to like be your size at my height, I would say about 10 pounds, 8 to 10 pounds per inch, right?
I think that's what they use generically, but it just depends on shape and structure again.
Mm-hmm. That's true. It depends how you hold it, But let's say if Carlos off season 260 at that look, for me to look somewhat like that, I would have to be a similar body fat at, let's say, 310, maybe 300, 310, right, at 5'11". But I'm not going to like Carlos regardless. So you're not gonna, you probably shouldn't even think about that, honestly, because you're probably not going to look like that guy. But yeah, but I would say usually around 8 to 10 pounds of per inch sounds fair to me.
Just fill your frame out as best you can.
Good point. Whatever that may be. Sean Roden can and Phil, they could win Olympiads at 230 at 5'9", 5'10". Most people should. A lot of us can't turn pro at that weight. We got to be bigger than that to turn pro. But it's the way they held it. So it's all relative. All right, let's see what else I got. Are y'all surprised? What's the max amount? Are y'all surprised to not see Nick Walker at the Arnold? I saw this question a lot.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised, but I'm not surprised, but it'd be cool if he did it. That's about it.
It would be.
Cool.
I think most people want to see him do a big show just because it's been a while since he's done the Arnold and Olympia. Because let's say if he wins another New York, I feel like I don't know if people are going to get like hype off of that. I feel like people want to see him on a big stage. I do. I want to see him at the Olympia and Arnold personally.
True.
It's like win, lose, or draw. It matters, but I don't think it really matters. I think just seeing the best compete is what we want to see.
Yeah.
But for him, probably I think winning is the only option in his head right now. I would assume so. I think most of the top guys winning is the only option. But us watching, I don't think we give a fuck. We just want to see the best up there, including his fans. I'm sure his fans just want to see him up there. Okay. Who prep? How did y'all get so handsome? You're talking to Carlos and Joe. You don't access. How y'all get so? What do you guys think of Blessing this season or next season? I guess. You guys think he could win a show?
Yeah, he can win a show.
I was gonna say he could win one. I just don't know how well he'll do if he does.
Yeah. If he can match the conditioning from his wins at this new size, he looks a lot bigger.
Have you seen his legs?
No.
I haven't seen his legs. Like, you can add all the size you want, but where is that size going? Kind of thing.
I don't. I'm kind of a believer that unless you do something ridiculously extreme, that you're probably going to have similar proportions for the most of your career.
Yeah.
I don't know many people who just completely change their proportions, but it doesn't mean you can't win. Brandon Curry didn't get like the world class legs per se, and he was still able to win just because he got them good enough, with everything else. So nobody's perfect, so you can win not being perfect. Just you do have to make improvements. So I think same way he was able to win shows before with not having the best legs, as long as you create a good illusion, I think he can still make it happen. As barring that his upper body got bigger and his legs like got worse or something, then that's not going to work.
Complete imbalance, yeah.
But I think Blessing is a really good bodybuilder. Maybe maybe he doesn't get the best rap because some of the placings versus what he was saying, maybe. But if you just look at him without that, I think he's had a great career so far. He won 2 shows.
Yeah, made to Olympia.
Yeah. Thoughts on coaches giving Clen off season?
Why?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I've seen Clen and T3 off season on programs.
Yeah, did it say? I think I've heard. I don't know who I heard this from. It's some podcast, but they may give like women a little Clen because it has, it helps with contractile force and stuff.
This is true. This is true.
So,
I would say I like to put in prep on the early side. Put in Clen on the earlier side of prep for somebody who doesn't take much gear, like a bikini girl, because I do feel like it helps. But I don't put it in off season. I just put it in really early, maybe like 12, 16 weeks out, something like that. But just give us some Anavar. It can't hurt. Give it a little Anavar. 10 milligrams. Right? Do the job done. You might as well. Shit, you're gonna do this sport. You don't gotta beat around
the bush.
Yeah, go get straight to it.
Might as well.
I was actually talking to a friend of mine about that. She's not against it, but she's tiptoeing a little bit around it, But she got time. She's young. I say, hey, you go dive straight in. Fuck it, make it happen.
Get your feet wet a little bit.
Yeah, come on. It's not like we're not talking trend. Just a little, a little baby dose. All right. Do you guys use logbooks?
No,
Not anymore.
No, I did when I started out.
So I tell people all the time that I've never used a logbook, but I've always remembered my best lifts, like to try to improve on them. So I'll take my main 2 compounds and make sure I'm always improving on those. That's my log.
Is this an accurate way of looking at things? Right. If you go in the gym and you give it all you possibly got on your working sets, every workout, besides like deloads or maybe on your health phase, when you take it easy, but on an off season or prep phase, you give it everything you got every working set. Does it actually matter what's in the notes? You couldn't have done more. If I really gave it my all with 315, whether I knew what I did last week or not, what more could I have done if it's legit everything, right? You guys ever thought about that?
So the way I look at it, it only matters to an extent, right? You're not going to improve linearly all the time. It's impossible. So, but if you're finding yourself stuck in the same place with the same weight and it feels the same on your chest, and you can't go at least 5 pounds up from what you've been doing, then you have made no progress. Somewhere down the line, it's going to, even if it's a small increment, it's got to go up somewhere. Like, how do you expect to be any different? It does matter to an extent. So if you're just running the rack every week and nothing's improving, like ever, you're not going to be growing.
It also probably depends on what style of training concepts you're using.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Well, if I watch most of the top pros I grew up watching, their weights never really went up like in the gym. But what I did notice, most of them, their form got better, which is progression.
Yeah.
You know.
So how is it going up? That's what I mean. If that 315 for 10 barely went up on the 10th one and it was sloppy, eventually it's like, okay, did you get 10 a little cleaner, or are you able to pause at the bottom now? Like, are you able to do all kinds of shit with that same weight?
That's what I'm thinking. And even the order, like you could watch Jay Cutler a cut above, and then watch him at his last video he did, and he's like 50 pounds bigger, right? But he's not lifting heavier per se. But look at the order. He started with incline 4 plates, but now he's doing incline as his third working set, as third exercise with 3 plates. So it's a different order. Yeah. His form is a lot more controlled. If you watch his early form versus now his new form, so it's like he's progressing in other ways. Sometimes literally just training for so long, you have a better mental connection. So you can watch me, my form might look the same, but I'm feeling it so much more. You know,
Yeah.
so there's so much factors that's in there besides the actual weight. Sometimes I think the weight should be very important early on because you're not going to build muscle with lifting fucking 10 pounds on the bench press, right? But at some point, I think we improve in other ways that you can't really write it down because it's almost like a mental and experience thing. That's something I
But see,
noticed.
that question is so vague, right? Like, there's foundational training. Your strength does matter in the beginning.
Of
To a
course,
certain
yeah.
extent. Like, you can't, none of that shit matters. Like giving your very best doesn't matter in the very beginning of things because you need to see your strength progress. And I think that gets lost in translation nowadays. Like, you see people have picture perfect form and they're expecting to grow from that, and it won't happen in the beginning. You have to get stronger.
But like for us, nobody had to explain that to us because we wanted to get stronger, right?
Yeah.
So nobody had to say, "Hey, bro, try to progress." We went in there every day trying to get stronger, and we did for a few years, you know. Whereas now, maybe if you think about it too hard, maybe it becomes a thing. I didn't need a logbook my first couple of years because my strength was going up so fast that I was gonna do more, you know. And then at one point, I started writing it down like on my phone and my notes, and I had to beat a number. And then I got way too obsessed with that to the point I started going negative. Right, I'm like, I did 6 plates for 6. I have to get eight reps. So now I'm starting to put my knee wraps a little tighter. You know, I'm getting a thicker belt. You know what I'm saying? I'm maybe my sticking my butt out a little too much, you know, just to get that extra rep. And at that point is when I think I had to get rid of it because I realized I was too obsessed with it, you know. But this is only a select few. This is only people like us that this happens to. Most people asking these questions, I don't think they're gonna overdo it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the only reason I think
tool.
any of us, I think the only reason any of us stop training that way is because shit starts hurting or shit starts getting scary at a certain point. So you're like, okay, I got to find other ways to keep going before I fucking hurt myself.
Exactly.
Like, that's the only reason I stop.
I know for me, I had to correlate it too. I'm like, from 3 plates to 4 plates, my legs got bigger. 4 to 5, my legs got bigger. But from 5 to 6, I'm like, my legs didn't really get bigger. So then I'm like, maybe I have to be a little more intentional. But then I took that same mindset to hack squat and pendulum squat. So it's not like I forgot about it. I took that same mindset to pendulum squat and hack squat. And I don't get strong as fast, but I'm still trying to progress for that time period. Even if it's not an all-time PR, the way I'm doing it now, I want to progress with that form, with that calorie, whatever calories I'm on. You know, it's like you have your own milestones in your head, but it's not going to look like you're getting stronger every video you post per se. You know, so I don't know. That question is a tough one. I think there's benefits.
I gotta leave.
Yeah. All right, but do your things too.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
I do think there's a lot of benefits in a logbook though, if needed and used right. You know. Do you use a logbook, Rafe?
No, but I train a lot of clients, and there's, I always teach a whole bunch of different ways of progression, right? So intensity, you guys touched on 2 or 3 or 4 of them. Weight is just one measurement, but as a beginner, weight is a good one to log so you could improve on. But as you get more experience with your lifts, your tempoing lifts, you're looking at intensity in the lifts, mind to muscle connection, so
it's really hard to get stronger 10 years down the bodybuilding.
People that have asked me about my transformation the last 4 years, I use that foundational like strength over time trainings all the way up until
like last year,
until I prepped for the Cal. I was fucking slinging and banging all kinds of fucking heavy ass shit to get to the size that I got to.
I saw it,
yeah. I mean, but after a while though, I'm like, man, my knees are starting to hurt a little bit.
Well, okay. Well, if you're a strong person, it could backfire because like watching you hit fucking 5 plates, let's say, on incline. Motherfucker, if you go up to 6, there's no telling what the fuck is gonna happen. Like, well, like at some point, I'm like, maybe this is, this is okay to not.
No, bro. The thing that finally got me to like take a true step back was I got under that 7-plate Smith squat at Revival.
Yeah,
and I did it just fine, but bro, my knees have been shot since. I was wrapped up, belted up. It didn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was like, okay, this is gonna walk away from this.
I had a similar thing where I did a squat video with Larry Wills, and I did 6 plates, and it was 6 plates for like 8, and then I did an immediate drop set to like 4 plates.
Oh,
and I was built for it at the time. I was doing crazy stuff, but then I thought to myself, I thought to myself, next time I thought to myself, I was like, yo, like I could have ended badly.
Yeah.
I'm like, it could have ended badly. It could have. Like it was just because it was one of those like like the powerlifting the racks where it's like there's no safety bars. You just off. Like, I'm like, dude, that could have been bad, and that could have been the end of me. So I was like, you know what? Yeah. Plus, I was training with Larry Wills.
Exactly. that goes bad for a lot. That goes bad for a lot of people. Yeah, that does go bad for a lot of people.
Well, so the muscle don't know the weight on the bar.
Yeah. So that's when I switched, and I was like, you know what, man? Like like Rich just said, the muscle don't know the weight on the bar. So, like I'll do extra reps, man. Like I'll slow the tempo down. Like there are more ways. Like kind of how we discussed about dieting. The same way with trainers. There's more ways than one to get the job done. So it's kind of what
Yeah, I mean, I agree too, but it's not like saying we're pulling it down to 2 plates. No. There's still weight on the bar. It's just
there's got to be enough
yeah,
mechanical tension on the muscle for it to do something.
But unfortunately, I do see guys go down to 2 plates and go super slow with 2 plates, and I'm kind of like, now if your legs are huge, great. Then you got But a lot of times if Carlos squatted 2 plates, Carlos still gonna have big legs. But that's just Carlos's legs. It doesn't mean that's a good thing though. At least in my opinion, I feel like there has to be.
There's like a certain strength component, right? Like, okay, Carlos said he got up to 6 plates for whatever it was, 8.
Yeah.
That means most likely he has to at least have 3.25 on the squat bar. Like
something, yeah, I know what you mean.
Because if it's 2, it's probably like it won't be enough for his body to be like, look at this, like
100%. If I don't go heavy enough, I don't even get a pump. I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
So I've actually tried different work where like it's not like I kind of just got set on my training just because I think my training is just so good. I've tried every style of training I can think of. I've tried it all, and a lot of times I don't feel what other people feel because that works for them, and it doesn't work for me. So sometimes people leave comments, how come we don't do this? And it's like, y'all don't think like we've tried things? Y'all don't think we've already tried this shit? Like we've tried it, bro. We've been doing this for a while. We've tried everything on our bodies, at this
I also think it's important that you do progress up in weight till you get to a certain strength. You can't just be like, okay, 3 plates, that's the plates I'm going to stay at, and that's how I'm going to grow big wheels. No, you got to push it. But then once you're there, then it's you're slowing the tempo down. You're making sure that you're feeling the movement instead of just doing the movement.
I don't think it's a coincidence that people who train really heavy grow. I think it's a mindset thing. I don't actually believe that Heidi's T-bar row form is the best way for his back to grow. I believe that his crazy mindset that he's even willing to do that is why he has a good back. Not that exercise form, but just because he's bringing that intensity to everything. He's bringing that same intensity to the lat pull downs that we don't see and the dumbbell rows that, what I'm saying? So it's not, you can't go, well, look at T-bar row form. I'm going to do half reps on T-bar form. That's not the point. The point is that he has such a crazy mindset that he's willing to go a place that you're not willing to go. That's why he gets his results. So it's not, it's not always the form. Same with Ronnie. Ronnie has crazy genetics, but I think the work ethic is what made their physique. Not necessarily because that form is better than good form. It's just because they're willing to. And a lot of people who want to go light with perfect form, sometimes they don't have that intensity threshold. So it's not because that form is bad. That's why they're not as big, right? It's not that good form is bad. It's just that they're maybe focusing too little on the intensity and too much on the form. Does that make sense the way I said it?
Guys, I got to head out of here.
All right, Carlos.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, man.
For sure, bro.
You know? Peace. So that's the thing about causation and correlation. You know, don't say Ronnie has a big back, I'm going to train like Ronnie. It doesn't mean you're going to have a big back. But if you chose to train as intense as Ronnie and eat like Ronnie did and be regimented 24/7 like Ronnie did, then yeah, maybe you'll get some really good growth. So it's everything. You can't just pick the things that you want to pick and leave. You know, I want to train like Ronnie's form, but I don't want to recover like Ronnie. I don't want to eat like Ronnie. I don't want to do anything else like Ronnie. But just that form it doesn't work that way. It's everything that works together, not just one aspect. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, that's why all styles of training work, right? The intensity is the same across the board. So the way you lift that heavyweight is the same way you're going to lift that precise ass squeeze rep and make it hurt as much as possible to the very last rep. Like, it's all the same mindset, just different style.
Exactly.
So you
say
1 rep or 20 reps, you have that same connection.
Yeah. Exactly. So you say, hey, I want to train like Janicki. Look how big Janicki is. And then you're training, but it's like, you're not training like Janicki because you have no intensity. Just because you're doing the exercises he does doesn't mean anything. It's not the exercise selection that's making him grow. It's that he's putting real intensity towards it and he's using good weight, right? So it's like you're focused on the wrong thing. You know, he's trying to teach it the right way, but it goes over people's head because they're looking at the wrong part of it. So that's why I like what Jordan Peters says. He says, I don't give a fuck about your exercise selection. I don't give a fuck about your rep range. I don't give a fuck about how slow it is. I give a fuck about your intensity because that's really what it was coming down to. So he's like, don't do what I do. Do it your way. Just give me everything you got. I think that's the best way to say it because we can argue all day about which is better. And I don't think either is better. I think as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, you know. Same way your cycle. Hey, Joe, what's your cycle? I'll take your cycle. That's just one part of the big picture. I'm not gonna look like you from doing your cycle. Everything else you're doing is just as important, you know. So, all right, let's do like one more or two more. Top 10.
Nap time, Joe.
Huh? What are you there?
Nap time.
This last 20 minutes, I was like, do I jump off? Nah, Joe, you haven't been on a while. Do I jump off? Nah, Joe,
I'm like ready to eat, so I'm like.
Yeah,
every time I eat, I fucking get tired. So like, I ate while I was on there, I was like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't.
Oh yeah, if you notice, you don't see me eat on the podcast anymore. When I used to eat before it, I wouldn't be as you're not as sharp. You know,
bro. I was like, fuck. Like as soon as I finished, I was cool, and then like 10 minutes in, I was like, oh shit.
Bro, so on prep, obviously you're hungry on prep. So I'm like, I'm hungry. Let me eat before the podcast so I don't have attitude. But then I eat. I don't have attitude, but then now I want to go to sleep. So then now I'm just like, man. You know, so you can't win. So I usually do. Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, usually off season, I just don't eat before the podcast. I'll eat after.
Yeah, we went to Lorena competed. I don't know if you saw that.
She looked crazy.
Dude, she looked incredible, bro. But I guess the fucking standard for wellness is so much different than we imagined. Like she looked incredible. And she lost to like some soft ass, like no glute tie-in having ass women. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like me and my fucking jaw dropped. I'm not trying to hate on any competitors, but like none of them were like even close to her. Like just the look. So I guess maybe she was too peeled. I don't fucking know.
Well, I think sometimes at comps they take the mass. Whoever the most amount, they compare them, and then the other one's the oddball.
Bro. That's what we're trying to figure out because like she looked the most like a pro.
Yeah.
Because
I've had that happen. I've had that happen.
And we're like, what the fuck is this? You would think the winner is going to be the one that's the closest to the professional look, which is the standard, right? So, what the fuck?
I know.
Well, I've seen that happen plenty of times. You remember Sarah? Don't say who she is, but you know who Sarah is.
Yes.
So the show she did, bro. She looked like an Olympian, but she's at a local show. So the wellness girl at the local show, they just look like soft bikini girls. So Sarah comes out with it. And I'm like, this honestly looks weird to the point that it sounds fucked up. I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna pick her because I'm like this. It looks like she looks almost too muscular, but she's not. In the pro rank, she'll be perfect. But standing next to them, I'm like, she looks too good to actually, it's almost too. I'm like, this is weird. I never felt like this before. I'm like, she looks so out of place because she's where she needs to be a pro, but these people are not. I don't even remember.
She won.
She did one, yeah. She did one, yeah.
See, so we're like, what the fuck? Like, no standard.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't. One of my friends is a bikini girl, and she comes in like a Olympian condition in bikini. They keep telling her she's too peeled. But the truth is that they need to tell these other girls that you're not peeled enough, motherfucker. If you're trying to be like, why are you telling me I'm too peeled for bikini? No, they're just look like they're not national level. That's not my fault. Tell them to get in shape. But literally, like she'll not win shows because she's too conditioned at the local level. So now she's just gonna try to do as many national shows as possible. So let's say she'll just go get second place, and then she'll just go straight to nationals because she's not concerned about winning the local shows anymore. Because she's like, it looks off. She looks like almost like figure condition or about physique condition, which is what it takes at the pro level. They are in shape at the pro level, So it's kind of weird. It's the same thing that happens in men's physique sometimes. If you're too muscular or too conditioned, and everybody else is, I don't believe in that shit though. Let them win regardless.
That's what I'm saying. Well, anyways, more of the story was. In between prejudging and finals, me and Paul are super behind. We didn't bring food, and so we went to this like steakhouse.
Yeah.
And bro, we both ate. And when we got back, it was so hard to stay awake, bro. I the people to my left, like they left, and so I laid on like 4 chairs during some of the fucking like some of the other like shit, fuck this.
Yeah.
It's so hard to stay awake when you eat, man. Fuck.
And these shows go on forever, bro. Like we'll be bro. You remember at the Masters you said we're like, bro, bodybuilding still didn't go, bro. We're like, oh, who's next, bro? What the fuck is going?
You got all the Masters classes, right? So it's like Masters fucking 60, 50, 45, fucking 35.
And then all the weight classes in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm driving fast as hell. I get there and I'm still waiting like an hour and a half. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. I'm thinking I'm late.
Yeah, and then days are behind. So
Exactly. All right, let's do one more. Wrap it up. What do you want for Christmas?
Money, more money.
That's
I got to pay for diapers, bro.
Yeah, you need that money. You gotta start selling T-shirts, Joe.
For real.
There you go.
Literally, just say support
Big Daddy Joe.
That's it. And on the back, you just say, I fucking need diaper money. Just on the back.
Diaper sponsor.
For Christmas, man, I don't know. What do you want, Rafe?
Unrealistic things. I don't need anything.
Oh, but like, give me an example.
I want a brand new F450 crew cab diesel.
Okay.
Hey, have you seen those electric Hummers?
Yeah.
In person?
The new one.
Bro, those are pretty badass, man. This guy brought one to Revival the other day, Beatty.
Yeah.
All blacked out. Fucking sick as fuck. It's like a spaceship, bro. Like a giant.
They are nice. Those ones do look pretty clean for sure.
Yeah.
They do. My car guy, the guy that does the work on my car, I left my car with him, and then he didn't have any rentals, so he gave me his wife's car, which was the Hummer, and it was low key fire. So I drove it home and back the whole 9. But when I was coming into the parking lot, it was too high because I think it was lifted, and I scraped the shit out the top. And then I was like, "Fuck, should I tell him?" And then I was like, "No." I was like, "His wife is short. He's not that tall. He's never gonna see this shit." So I just went back out, scraped it again. I'm like, "Fuck it, he's not gonna." And he hasn't said anything, so I don't think he noticed it.
It sounds so much worse unscraping it, huh? When you come back.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh fuck!" I'm like, "Damn."
Like you know, imagine over your car and then went
back.
Like,
yeah, it fucks it. But when I say I'm the worst, bro, have you seen my car? It's worse now. I literally got into, it's worse. I got into another accident. This old lady broke, and I was on the highway, and half the time I'm like I'm dozing off. So I'm dozing off, and then she hits the brakes, and I'm like, bang! So the whole front is fucked up now, along with the wrap is all peeled off in the front. So now it's finally time to take it in now. I'm going to take it in now and get it fixed up. I might just get it completely
sounds
wrapped.
like you need a new car for Christmas.
I think I do. To be honest, I'm ready to pack it up. I don't even want it anymore. I want to get a truck at this.
Yeah.
I want to. I wish there was a way that I could legally just come take the car. I don't want this shit no more. Just take it. Just take it. Let's call it even. Just
leave the money at the doorstep.
Yeah, let's call it even.
No more.
Can I guys just take this shit off of me? I just don't want it, boy. I want to get a truck, so I'm gonna have to trade it in or something. I'll fix it up, trade it in, and try to get something. I'm over. Honestly, I'm over even the whole fast car or muscle car shit. I don't care about that. I just want a nice, spacious car.
You sound like you're ready to be a dad, bro.
Yeah, that's what
Hey, get yourself a nice little minivan, slide right in and out.
A Honda Odyssey, if you will.
There you go.
I gotta be honest. I'm at a point, man. I don't care. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind driving a Honda Odyssey, man. I don't. It's not important to me anymore.
So with breathing room.
Yeah. Well, the truth is, people don't give a fuck about your car, right? Like paying all that money. The most I would get is somebody come up to the gym. That's you, bro. Oh, I see you, bro. Yeah, thank you, man. That would happen like once a month.
$1,000 insurance.
Well, my car note when I had the Hellcat, my car note was $1,000 a month. My insurance was $1,000 a month, bro. And then the mods, I couldn't tell you how much mods I had. The lights was fucking. The lights would be changing different colors, bro. I had underglow. Just for what? Just to pull up and one person be like, "That's you." Yeah, bro. That's it. That's it. Like once every 2 weeks. Hey, bro. Ooh. Good job, bro. Thank you, man. That's me. Yeah.
It cost me $2,000 for that compliment.
But think about it. Same thing happens to me. I'll come out the car and I'll see like a Lambo and I'll look around like, who? And I'll see somebody. I'm like, hey, bro, I didn't know you had a Lambo. Yeah. Oh, man. That's what's up. That's it. Nothing happens, bro. Like nothing happens. So it's like, now you got to really just have like play money to just play with. You're just doing so well in life, motherfucker. Then do it. But if not, it's not worth it. It's just a waste of time. All right, gentlemen. I'm gonna talk to y'all next week, man. Good chatting with y'all.
Wait. What do you want for Christmas? A new wrap or a new car?
I want a new car. I think I want a truck. I want a truck. I don't even think a truck could fit in my parking lot. So let's start off with a. I'm not buying a house in LA. Not that I can, but if I could, I wouldn't. So yeah, let's say a truck. I'll park outside. No problem. I'll park it outside. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, y'all. Y'all already know.
All right, guys. Great talking to you guys.
Hey, you.
Nice chat.